I grew up in the Baltimore swim region, where Michael Phelps coached many of my friends and many more of my opponents. We all had a saying, if you can't beat the person in first place, make them break the record. You see, it takes more strength, skill, and effort to pass over the wake of the person in first place than it does for the swimmer in first place to remain there. So, if you can't get over that wake as hard as you're capable of trying, then you better make the person in first place try as hard as you are and break that record. This phenomenon in swimming creates an understanding of victory within swimmers that is unique. It is the true definition of sportsmanship in competition. My name is Danica Jennings, and I was an extremely fast and extremely competitive swimmer in Southern Maryland for 11 years. Growing up, I experienced disconnect. I could not connect with the people around me or my family members. I could not accurately connect with ideas. In spite of all the goodness around me in my life, the only thing I could feel was ever-growing pain and rage. I gravitated heavily to the water. The rush of the water against my body made me feel powerful. The sound of my speed in the water made me smirk. I was invincible and indestructible in the water. I knew even with my relationship and attention deficit flaws that I still had a secure future, because I knew that I could beat anybody in the water if I tried hard enough. Swimming may have made me feel like a success, but I was always suffering. My relationships were suffering, my grades were suffering, my family was suffering. I didn't know people and they didn't know me. I would stare at walls and cry. Staring at my homework, I would feel outrage. The public school system forced me off the swim team, which also deemed me ineligible for an All-American pre-Olympic team. My future was being snuffed out, and all I could do was scream. My swim times may have been fast enough for an All-American team, but I felt like my chance for my own very personal victory was ripped from my life. I became obsessed with the idea of changing the world that I lived in for kids with untapped potential like me, and I decided I needed to go to Full Sail for film. But I had no support from my parents. I was creative and energetic, which is a recipe for passion, and I had a strong desire to make a difference in my world, but I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. Borderline personality disorder was what I was diagnosed with about this time. I only blamed my family and turned away from them. I found myself with hopeless people and hopeless dreams. Eventually, I became homeless despite many attempts from many family members to help me. In just 4 years after being kicked off my swim team, I was expecting a child. Another future I was responsible for. The donor was an abusive and jobless drunk. I found myself pregnant in a mental hospital. Believing insanities like zombies from hell were after me. During this tragic time of my young life, I was introduced to dialectical behavior therapy, a very successful treatment for borderline personality disorder. After realizing my desperate need for it, I pursued treatment. Dialectical behavior therapy saved my life. I completed one-on-one DBT treatment and 2 group treatments. I wish I had learned those skills in grade school, and I wish all people could have the opportunity to learn these skills. DBT is useful to everyone. To many people, it's common sense and taught or passed on by their parents. To many others, the skills are a fresh glass of water after walking for years in a desert. Now, I have the self-control, the vision, the self-confidence, the self-respect, the courage, and the ability to succeed. Through misfortune, my dreams may have drastically changed, but I've been empowered, and that is irreplaceable. I have since been involved with teaching children swim lessons. I also took an opportunity selling electronics. I was accepted to Full Sail University for online computer animation, and changed course to my original dream of digital cinematography. I quit teaching, I moved to Colorado, and I'm currently considering a position of employment at a child development center that certifies their employees for childcare. My recent experiences have developed my patience, my customer service and people skills, encouraging personality traits, sales skills, computer and technical skills, and my value in my family and in my employment. But I still struggle to find a job that values me enough to pay me what I need for my family, and is also a job that I love. To accomplish my professional goal and build my desired body of work, I will faithfully continue practicing DBT and communication skills with peers, authority, and myself. This will enable me to be more respectful to others and myself. I have many opportunities with my technical and sales and customer service skills, but very little avenues for my swimming and teaching skills. However, this could potentially make me a most valuable person. Each world, yours, mine, ours, and currently and forever, faces two paths, one of destruction and one of creation. In everything that I do, I seek to equip people young and old with skills and tools necessary to accomplish their desires of their heart, lest they fall into the path of destruction, like I did. I didn't become an Olympic swimmer, but I can enable others to do what they truly desire. I encourage you to do the same, because you can help those that I can't.